What's going on, everybody? This is Roaming Prepper, and I'm your host, Pete. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I'm going to answer a question I'd received actually from different people on different platforms. If I'm making a road trip, aside from the basic things like a first aid kit and extra clothes, what should I take with me? So I'm going to cover some of the things I do, little gadgets I've picked up over time that may make sense, and I'll throw in a couple other tips as well. I'll be right back, and let's talk about some of the things I do. Hey, welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining me again. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if by the end of the video you have any questions I may not have answered during the course of the video or the premiere chat, which I usually will have an open chat, put them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them in as timely and intelligent a way as I can. If not, I may refer you to a resource that you can look up and maybe get yourself informed. So road trip, there's a few fundamentals. Have hard copy maps. I've covered that before. Have a first aid kit in the vehicle or bring it with you in your luggage. And I'm assuming this is a road trip, not a flying trip, because those are a little bit different. I have a video on TSA compliant EDC and a few other tips for flying. This is more aimed at the road trip scenario. So what are some things you should bring? Well, first and foremost, I would bring in your pockets a multi-tool or a knife and a flashlight. It doesn't have to be a big puffy knife. And hey, and that I finally killed it. This is the one I washed. Yeah, I might have to replace it. I washed this one twice. It still works though. But in any case, have a flashlight and a knife. You never know, you're gonna have to open something. God forbid you get in a wreck and it's dark. You may have to cut yourself out of your seatbelt, and then you have to figure out what the hell's going on around you. Also, I've been in hotels where we had a blackout, and I was in a hotel in a strange city, and you're in the hallway, there are no windows there, the lights go out, and you're in pitch black. Having this in your pocket at least prevents you from killing yourself, and if you have to go down the stairs in an emergency, you can prevent yourself from falling down the steps. Kind of Prepper 101 kind of stuff. Now, another thing I'd recommend is an extra set of car keys. If you're like a lot of families, you have spouses, a husband and wife. I'm driving, Sassy has her own car, and so each of us has our truck or car key on our keychain. When I go for a road trip, if I'm going in her SUV, I actually take her spare key with me, and I leave my truck keys locked in the safe, because the truck's going to stay at home anyway, unless my son's here, in which case I give it to him. So basically, whatever vehicle you decide to make the trip in, unless you're taking multiple vehicles, bring both keys. And even if you are, let's say you're taking a multi-vehicle trip, bring both sets of keys, bring a spare set. The driver has one, and give another one to someone else in the other vehicle. That way, in the event you get locked out of your car by some inadvertent accident, someone else has a spare key, or you lose the keys. I've even had people say they've been pickpocketed and robbed, especially towns like New Orleans. You have a lot of tourists and people bump into you because you're all huddled together, and next thing you know, your car keys are gone. You can at least get somebody to get you back into your vehicle so you can get home. So again, extra car keys. Now, a couple other gadgets. And I didn't pick all these up at the same time, mind you. This is stuff I've purchased over time. I'm doing a separate video on this one. This is actually I forgot the brand now. It is there it is. Running Snail emergency radio. And it's your typical emergency radio. Has a little flashlight. Oops, sorry about that, folks. Has an alarm which will absolutely freak the dogs out. And also has AM, FM. It has the chargeable cord, so the charging thing, which the dogs apparently don't like either. Runs on battery and or the dynamo, depending on how you set it up, and it does do weather band. This goes with me in my luggage, or I have a string sack that I sometimes just put these gizmos in and put it in the truck. Another thing is the Add Top baby solar array. It's a charging bank with solar panels. Again, I have a separate video on that one where I go into detail and actually test it and show you what it does. And lastly, a DB power. Have another video on this one too. This is actually the power bank to jumpstart your car. I can't tell you, and I always usually carry jumper cables in the car as well. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a road trip and seen someone on the side of the road, no jumper cables, no power bank. Now, you don't have to go, this is a bit expensive. These two were not too expensive. These are kind of like, get one this month on this paycheck, get one next month on that paycheck, and they're not really too expensive. This guy will cost you a little chunk of change. It's not insurmountable, but I would budget it because it could make a little bit of a dent in your grocery bills, etc., especially nowadays. Now, I take all three of these, the emergency radio, the power bank, and the car jump starter, and I actually either stick them in my bags or I stick them in a drawstring backpack. You know, the ones you get at the giveaways whenever there's like a county fair or something. And I just stick them in there and throw them in the car. And when I get to my hotel, I take them and just throw it in the hotel room. I really don't touch them. But before I leave, I will charge all of them. I'll plug them all in and make sure they're charged. I actually, since I make road trips all the time, I probably plug them in once a month and just make sure they're fully charged up. And then I'll use them every now and then, draw them down, and then charge them up again. But these are a few of the things I do recommend you have if you can afford it. Now, this one, like I said, may run you a chunk of change. The alternative, much cheaper, is to get some jumper cables. You could probably get a cheap pair of jumper cables at, you know, at dollars, well, Inflation Tree, or as we were joking the other day, or Dollar General, or whatever the hell, or $1.25 General now with the inflation. Bottom line is, folks, have a few things for contingencies, right? None of this is zombie apocalypse stuff, but it does happen. You're driving and you get into a storm, and now you can't see, so you have to pull over. Well, what the hell's going on? It wasn't in the forecast. You can pop on that little radio and listen and kind of get an understanding of what's going on. You're out and about and your phone dies. You can plug it into this, especially like if you're on a trip and you go to a park, throw this in your backpack and off you go. And you can, again, while you're sitting there in the park, you can open it up, charge it, and get your phone working again. This, and always a spare set of car keys and the basic things like a pocket knife and a flashlight. So folks, just really basic 101 stuff. Again, this is the kind of stuff you spread out. Don't buy it all at once. I mean, if you get a bonus from work and you can buy it all at once, more power to you. But budget it out. Take your time. As I always say, don't freak out. Take your time. Spread it out. Make it affordable. There are some places like Amazon and a few other online places where you can split the payments on something like that, to where instead of, say, $100 or $200, mine is a little smaller, so it doesn't cost as much. But you know, there are some out there $200-300. You can spread that out, $50 a month over 6 months with no or low interest. You know, look for those kind of ways to finance stuff you need without hitting your credit or getting killed with an interest rate. Anyway, that's it for this one. I hope this was helpful, give you some things to think about. And again, at the very minimum, I'd get these two and spread them out. Buy one this month, wait a few months, budget in the other one. It shouldn't be too hard to do. But you got to spread them out a little. But again, really nice little doodads. They work well, and they help keep me informed while I'm on the road and keep my stuff running while I'm out there. In any case, folks, that's it for today. God bless, Godspeed. I will see you all on the next video. You guys take care out there. Be good.